Oh, sorry, I didn't realise you were there. Just doing some reading, because of course I am a reader, and what the theme of this year's World Book Day is that we are all readers. So we can read, of course, in many ways. So I'm reading Othello because I'm teaching Othello at the moment, year 8. And, you know, it's fantastic, full of that Shakespearean language that we're still looking at nearly 500 years later. Amazing. So that's one thing I'm reading. Another thing, of course, is, you know, I like to read a book as well. So you've got the One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich here. It's a fantastic book. Mr. Grant actually bought me this book a couple of years ago. It's just about one day in the life of a man in a prison camp in Russia in the 1930s. I mean, it's an extraordinarily miserable book, but it's a fantastic book. But of course, we're all readers every day. And actually, you know, when I'm walking the dog or just kind of driving in the car, I want to be a reader too. So here we go here. We've got here my audio book that I'm reading or listening to at the moment, which is called Who Dares Wins. It's a history of Britain from 1979 to 1982. Doesn't sound very exciting, but it absolutely is. So what we're really focusing on and what we've really done this year is making sure that all of us are readers. So we've got in Key Stage 3, all of that reading that's happening in tutor time in the morning, and in Key Stage 4, we've really been looking at the reading that you're doing in lessons. But also, it's the sense that every day we're reading, every day we're looking at signs and signifiers that tell us things about the world. What we need to do and what we hope is that to make you slightly more formal readers as well, so you're accessing some of the great works of literature, because as I've said many times before when we've talked about reading, reading is the absolute key to opening the door to so many things in life in terms of social mobility, in terms of getting on, in terms of being successful, and in terms of transporting yourself to other worlds. So that is the focus of our World Book Day this year, that everybody is a reader. So let's get out there and read. I'm going to pass you over now to Miss Hood.
Good morning, Elm Green, and welcome to your World Book Day Assembly for 2022. As I hope you know, it's World Book Day tomorrow, and today we're going to talk to you about World Book Day, what it's about, and what the slogan for this year is. So the World Book Day slogan for this year is "You are a reader." And you might be sitting there and thinking, yeah, I'm definitely a reader, 100% I am a reader. And some of you might be sitting there thinking that you're not a reader and that you don't like reading. And I'm here to tell you that if you are in the latter camp, if you're sitting there and thinking that you're not a reader, then it's simply because you haven't found the right book yet. And we're incredibly fortunate in our school to have a vast library with a wealth of books and 3 fantastic and extremely well qualified librarians who have an encyclopedic knowledge of books. So if you are in the latter camp and you think that you don't like reading, then I'm here to convince you to go to the library and to find a book that you like reading, because you are a reader. Last year, I spoke to you about the Reading is Power Manifesto, which was the slogan for World Book Day last year. And there were 4 pillars that they rested that idea on. And those 4 things were the idea that reading encourages growth, it encourages choice, it encourages power, and it encourages knowledge. And this year, I found, like I did last year, several people who are representative of different areas of expertise and different walks of life who've said really interesting and engaging things about reading. So the first is Marcus Rashford. I spoke to you about him last year, and he talks about reading as a form of escapism. And he says, there were times where the escapism of reading could have really helped me. I want that escapism for all children. So if you want escapism, and I think that's something that we all want, particularly after the pandemic and the experiences we've had in the last couple of years, then reading is what you should be doing. And if you want escapism, then you are a reader. The second person that I want to talk to you about is Little Simms. She talks about reading as companionship. And she says Bell Hooks understood it was bigger than her. Bell Hooks is a very famous writer who's recently died, and she uses lowercase letters for her name, which is why it's spelt like that, not a capital B or a capital H. Selfless giving, teacher, felt like a friend. Thank you for your words. So clearly Bell Hooks had a huge influence on Little Sims in her reading and her writing. And Little Sim says that reading Bell Hooks was like having a companion. And everybody wants friendship and companionship. So if you want companionship, then you are a reader. Thirdly, I want to talk to you about Akala. Akala talks about reading as a kind of magic. And he says, it is absolutely magical. I'd equate it to a kind of superpower. I can't imagine anyone sitting here watching this assembly wouldn't like to have superpowers. And so if you want some magic in your life, then you are a reader and you just need to find the right book. And then finally, Angela Rayner, who's the deputy leader of the Labour Party, a politician, she talks about reading as exploration. And she said, I enjoyed harnessing the power of books to take my mind wherever I wanted to go. I think we all love exploring in our own ways. And so if you're after some exploration, then you are a reader and you need to go and find the right book. The last thing I'm going to come back to is Marcus Rashford, because he says it in a really pithy, succinct way. And he talks about reading as sophistication. And he says, reading is cool, books are cool, that's it. And I think we all want to be sophisticated. We all want to be cool. So if you want to be sophisticated and cool, you are a reader. You just need to find the right book. As I said at the beginning, there are lots and lots of incredible books in our library, and it's open from 8 o'clock in the morning until 5:30 at night during your break times and during your lunch times. And it is a hugely, hugely significant resource that you need to go and avail yourselves of today and for the rest of your school career, because it will be there and is there. Lots of your teachers are readers, and you should see on your screen lots of pictures of your teachers reading. I chose Akala as one of my talking heads, and I know that Mr. Horton Campbell chose Akala as one of his favourite books. So go and have a conversation with Mr. Horton Campbell about Akala and his book, which is called Natives, which is a fantastic book, and I'm sure Mr. Horton Campbell will talk really interestingly about it.
So I just want to take a moment to talk to you about reading as a creative experience. You, a reader, you, the reader. You probably never thought about this before, but when you read a book, you add your experiences and your emotions to that story and you create something that's quite unique. It's something that's wonderful about reading. It's an individual process. Obviously, we can all read the same books, but we all get different things from it. So here's a book, The Hobbit, really good example. My mother watched that movie and utterly hated it because when she'd read The Hobbit, she'd imagined in her own mind what Gollum was like, what he looked like, what he smelt like, what he acted like. And when she saw that movie, it just didn't match with what her Gollum was to her. And so as you read, you have your ideas from those books. Have a good day.
Okay, so tomorrow there are going to be loads of fantastic things going on. The first is that there is a tradition of dressing up for World Book Day at the Elm Green School. Your staff will be dressed up, and if you want to join the dressing up, please do. There will be prizes for the best dressed students. There is also a short story event, which is that at the beginning of lesson 1, 3 and 5, your teachers will be reading you 20-minute segments of a short story. So by the end of the day, you'll have heard the whole short story. It's a fantastic story. It's a really exciting part of our World Book Day offer tomorrow. There's also going to be a fantastic competition. So your teachers are going to be wearing lanyards around their necks with their favourite book and a book that they have read recently that they've loved. And your challenge is to go and to find out from them what their favourite book was and what the book that they loved recently was, and have a conversation with them about that. So competition sheets will be available in the library for you to come and collect, and please return them there for judging at the end of the day. There are also World Book Day vouchers, which will give you £1 off a book of your choice at a local bookshop, which will be given out by your English teachers. You don't need the vouchers to get your free book from the Market Square. That's a second book that you can get. £1 off at local bookshops, so please make sure that you get those vouchers from your English teachers. So we're really looking forward to World Book Day tomorrow, and remember please that World Book Day is for all of you because you are all readers. You are a reader.
You are the reader. Have a great day, folks.
Happy World Book Day. Bye.